Okay, so what all I did here is add transaction. Okay, now mine's going to be a little bit different from you guys as we go along, but because I have the admin version, have the back office version, and you guys don't. But this is the same. This is what it looks like. So here we go, adding a transaction in Paperless Pipeline. We're going to select a location. It's FRI. Some of our teams have their own locations there, but that's fine. Transaction name or property address. Now I've got to remember what it was I'm doing. This is an actual transaction that I'm putting back in. And I'm using the address, okay? That's fine to do it like that. I'd like to see a city and stuff, but I don't even know. I'm just using an existing transaction. Select status. All right, so in this case, we're representing a buyer and we just got the contract accepted, right? So that is pending. Select label. Let's say it's a residential sale, residential property. Okay. I'll fill in these. They're not required, but I would fill in these if I had the actual, if this were an actual deal. More info. If I want to say something on here about more info, I could do that. Seller's name, buyer's name. I would fill these things out as well. I don't know the sale. Well, I do know the sale price. Let's say it's sold for $425,000. Okay. Total commission. Let's say I'm going to get whatever it is, 3% or whatever it is. Let's say the total commission is $9,000. Okay. Commission summary. This is where you can write Ryan Langley is getting 70% and Daryl Hunt is getting 30%. All right. Search by name. We're going to assign agent search by name. We'll do Ryan. Ryan Langley is the selling agent. Okay. If I want to do more, I believe I can do Daryl. Daryl Hunt is also a selling agent, so he'll be copied on everything as well. Okay. And we're going to add this transaction. So we've added the transaction successfully. What we're going to do now, we see the checklist over here, right? I happen to have on the bottom of my screen already downloaded the files that are necessary. So I'm going to go upload. Now, the first time I go upload here, all I'm going to have is the as is, right? I'm going to have the MLS sheet that I pulled off of the MLS. I'm going to have the homeowners association document. And I'm going to have the seller's disclosure, right? And I'm going to have the pre-approval. So I should have all these things when I go under contract. And I'm going to download anything else that comes along as I get them. So just do the office here. And it's going to do all of them. Now you guys don't have the reviewed screen, but I'm going to do that for myself and upload the documents because yours go into our unreviewed file. So our compliance staff will look them over and make sure, review them and make sure that they're all there. And then they will check them off your list. So when I come into your list, I see that we have the as is. Now I'm actually going to look at this. This is a real contract, so I'm not going to go too much into depth here, but I'm actually going to look at this. Can you guys see this? Give me a nod if you can see what's downloading right now. See that contract? Okay. So we look at this, make sure all the initials are there. Everything's initialed all the way down. We don't care what it says. All the way down, make sure it's signed properly. All parties signed. In this case, there's 2 buyers and 2 sellers signed. Our agent, whatever, all the paperwork is there. Nothing extra here that's any of ours, so that's good. And we'll check that off. We'll check off that. Then we come to, and I'm just showing you guys what happens behind the scenes here. All right, now here's where we go. So on this, you'll see on the checklist, it has the MLS printout, buyer's pre-qual, escrow deposit receipt, short sale addendum, if applicable, condo or HOA disclosure, if applicable, lead-based paint, if applicable, right? So we can tell by looking at the MLS form, this is why we need this. The year this was built was 2019. I don't know how well you guys can see that. You have to take my word for it. 2019, special sale, none. So when I see that, I know it does not need a short sale addendum because there's no special sale. And I know it does not need a lead-based paint addendum because it was built in 2019. So Kayla or whomever in our office staff, compliance staff gets rid of those. Now let's see if it has an HOA, community information. It is required, $220 a month. It's required. So we will be needing that HOA. We will not delete that for you guys. You're going to have to turn that in. And lo and behold, this wonderful agent turned in her HOA disclosure, right? Signed by everybody. Good to go. So we're going to give her a check for that. We're going to come down to the seller's disclosure, make sure everybody, I don't care what it says. It could say the whole place is falling apart. As long as everybody's signed off on the disclosure, we're all covered. So seller's disclosure is not actually a buyer's item, checklist item. It's a seller's checklist item, but there we go. Pre-approval from Waterstone Mortgage. Yes, pre-approved. Right. Pre-qual letter. Boom. And I've got the MLS printout. Boom. All done. Now, as we go along in this deal, 4 or 5 days later, 3 days later, whatever it is, depending on weekends and holidays, we have an escrow receipt. So we're going to upload, we're going to go back into the transaction and we're going to upload the escrow receipt, right? Boom, boom, office. We're going to upload that document. Again, you guys won't see this right away in the file. It'll go to unreviewed. You won't see the check marks right away, but let's see this escrow receipt. Well, not open yet. Okay, we will check and make sure the amounts line up and Vecchio and the amounts line up and the address lines up, and it does. So we'll go to copy that. Boom, because we have had you guys try to pass off old escrow receipts before from different deals just to get paid, and we're not done. So final settlement statement. So this should be what your deal looks like before you get your CDA request. So you guys, just so you guys know, the CDA is not required on every deal. Title company will ask for it, but it's not required on every deal. So don't freak out if you don't have it. And some people won't do CDAs. Some builders won't do CDAs. Some attorneys' offices won't do CDAs. But I'm going to show you guys. You go on your reference tab here, and you go down to FRI forms, office forms, commission disbursement request form. Right? You click on that, you open that up, you fill it out, and you save it. Okay, you're going to open original doc. It's going to be a fillable PDF, and you save that, and then you upload it to the file. When you upload it to the file, it comes across, and this file happens to be ready to go. So we would go ahead, since we don't, the only thing we don't have is obviously the signed settlement statement because it hasn't closed, and when you do the CDA before it closes, the request will show up on here. We will go in to create we'll go into manage commissions where we create the CDA for you guys. We go through all of this stuff to create the CDA for you guys. And then we have the broker sign it and send it off to the title company and to you. We send you a copy as well in case the title company loses it, which they tend to do sometimes because they don't really care that much. It's your money, not theirs. So that's how it works. Then once we have the settlement statement, we're going to upload docs one more time. And you guys, you left the closing, and you got your check, and you just want to close out this file. We're gonna drag your docs here, settlement statement, do that, and we'll have a fully closed out deal. My checklist will go to 100%, and I'm completely done here. We will edit the transaction to say dispersed, and this deal is done. Okay. Well, it wants to give me an error. It has to have a close date. So let's say today. All right. So that's how Paperless Pipeline works. I'm going to come back to you guys now and